We're all familiar with the recent incident where a South Korean news agency admitted that it faked a photo of Kim Jong-un holding the supposed drone that was spying on the South. Now, I'm taking a little bit of an exception with one particular YouTuber, David Packman, who had a segment where he talked about this. The essential too long didn't watch version of his video was, yes, this turned out to be fake, but the DPRK is still evil, so therefore still hate them. But let me allow the man to speak for himself.
I think that the biggest issue here is that in the same way that when we have stories around the Holocaust that aren't true, for whatever reason, it opens up the door to Holocaust deniers who just deny the Holocaust wholesale. And with so many horrific things happening in North Korea, you distract from the real issues we should be discussing by photoshopping a picture of Kim Jong-un with a drone.
It's very clear what he's trying to do here. It's, yeah, this one was fake, but when you lie, you give them credibility so that all the stuff that we do say about them that's true, you hurt. Well, this is absolutely false. The DPRK never gets the benefit of the doubt. In fact, every ridiculous, insane thing that's claimed about them is automatically taken to be true. Give the example of the Kim Jong-un's ex-girlfriend who was executed. And then they insisted for the longest time that this was true. And I said, show me some evidence that it's true. Until then, it's something you just completely made up. Or, pardon me, an unnamed South Korean intelligence official just made up. Well, guess what? It turned out also to be false, and that she was never executed. There she is on state television. The fact is, he's trying to claim that don't do this because then it just makes them look like victims. When are they ever seen as victims? They are nothing but constantly lied about by people like David Packman, like basically the entire world. He's trying to say that this is going to give them and their defense against things said about them credibility when they are never ever given that credibility to begin with. This is basically a straight up a false claim by Packman. The second issue I wanted to take was bringing up the Holocaust. Like, what's the point of that? That's like one of the most dishonest things you can do. There's no comparison between a labor camp as punishment and rehabilitation and then comparing that to the Holocaust, which was just working people to death and then killing them. That you were never, like, in the Holocaust, you were never going to get out. You were going to be there until you died if you weren't outright executed anyway. The DPRK holds people for a specific amount of time for hard labor as a form of prison and then releases them. This is not comparable. This is a ridiculous comparison meant to do nothing but in the most dishonest way demonize the DPRK, like people like him who believe the 3 generations of people go to jail, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's something that's so ridiculous, you really do have to have something to back that up as actually happening. Because it's such a tremendous waste of resources and a waste of manpower to do that. It's brutal repression for essentially no reason, and despite what people like him think, that kind of brutal repression is not beneficial to a government whatsoever. It's not productive. It doesn't save them. It actually just makes things worse. It does not actually happen. And third, I'd like to criticize Packman for bringing up the Holocaust on something that's completely unrelated to it. What's the point? You know, every time you do this, every time somebody brings up the Holocaust, regardless of whether it's relevant or not to what's being spoken, white supremacist Nazis turn around and say, oh, look, here they are throwing in our face again, get over it, it's the Holocaust, kind of thing. But then when you turn around and you bring it up with something that's completely unrelated to it, you just make their paranoia worse. I mean, you're almost kind of making them right when you do that. There's no reason to bring up the Holocaust. So I would like to criticize David Packman for essentially just causing this paranoia for essentially no reason other than to make his dishonest comparison. Which is, I would like David Packman not to turn around and kind of prove Nazis right in their own mind when he does stuff like this. I mean, come on, Packman, you are better than this. Thank you for watching. Please comment and rate the video. If you liked it, hit subscribe or check out some of these other great videos. If you wish, share it on social media. While you're at it, why don't you follow me on Twitter? And if you got time, go on over to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available.